In football, having a decent weak foot is important, but not everyone train it. And if you're stuck with a dead weak foot, most people just avoid using it.
But today I'm here to help you, as I'm gonna get you started with some of the things I did to help me transform my weak foot from something I would only use in matches to run and use as a standing foot for my right, to something that I would actually say is usable in an actual football match. And for clarification going forward, when I mention my strong and my weak foot, my right foot is all trusty and my left is all rusty, as you can see here. But Jay, why do I need a good weak foot? I mean, I'm a perfectly good player using primarily my strong foot here. Well, the thing is that as good of a player as you may be with primarily your strong foot, well, having a dead weak foot is just no good, at least if you want to do something with your football. Because if you look at professionals, I'd say that 99% of them all have at least a decent weak foot because they have to. Even if you look at someone like Messi, who has an absolutely deadly wand of a left foot, he's also able to use his right foot, I would say, efficiently enough if he has to. See, the reason it's nice to have a good weak foot is because it makes it a lot easier to adapt to every situation in a game and basically play more fluid football. Now, of course, you need to have a good first touch with both of your feet because it makes you able to go in both directions when the ball comes to you and simply adapt to where the defender is. Of course, you also need to be able to have at least a decent level of passing and crossing with your weak foot because that makes it a lot faster to execute those things instead of having to stop the ball, readjust the body and set up your weak foot, which gives the defender time to recover. And that's the second part, because if they know that you're constantly gonna set yourself up for your strong foot, you're much easier to shut down. Unless you're Dimitar Berbatov or Ricardo Quaresma and you have the meanest trivela in the world, where you don't need your weak foot, like ever. If you do have two very strong feet, however, you're going to be extremely difficult to defend against because you'll be very unpredictable, as the defenders know that you can punish them going to either side of them. Just take a look at young Mason Greenwood from Manchester United, who is so good with both feet that it's kind of difficult to tell that supposedly his left is the best one. So the defenders know that if they just try and shut that one down, he's just going to go to his right and score anyway. So having a strong weak foot is going to make you more versatile, and you need it if you have absolutely any ambition of ever going pro, because you might be the best player on your team with your strong foot, but if the scout sees that your weak foot is kind of broken, he's most likely not gonna take you. But how do you do it? Well, the simple answer would be to say, use it. But to be a bit more concrete, I did primarily three things. I started familiarizing my left foot with the ball by doing juggles and dribbles. Then I moved on to doing wall passing drills, and right now I'm working on improving my power and my accuracy because, yes, I'm actually also still working on improving my weak foot because, as you can see right now, well, it's still pretty weak. So for the familiarization and the process of making my weak foot used to how the ball actually feels, well, I started juggling and then forced myself to incorporate my left foot at least every other touch. So right, left, and so on. And as I got more confident with that, I started to also incorporate using my left foot even more. That could be right, left, right, left, and so on. Basically, to force my left foot to get used to the weight of the ball and how it feels when it moves around, how much force I need to put on it. Now after that, I put the ball on the ground and then did a lot of little zigzag dribbles, moving around all over the pitch, just to get myself used to how it feels to dribble, primarily using my left foot. It's really awkward at first, but it quickly catches on. Then you can move on to using a wall, or basically anything that will bounce the ball back to you. And here I suggest that you do a pass, you take a directional touch, and then you set yourself up for the pass again to make it as match-like as possible. Now, most people are gonna tell you to only use your weak foot constantly, but I found that it works better for me if I actually switch between using my strong foot 3 times and then swapping to my weak foot to make sure that my body and my brain is able to seamlessly switch between the 2 feet in a match. And the key here is to basically just figure out the technique, how you position your body with your strong foot, and then apply the same thing to your weak foot, and then just keep going basically. Finally, I'm currently working with a target that could be the smaller 7-a-side goal. And here I'm basically doing standard target practice where I'm getting my body used to the position and the power and the movement of the leg and the plant foot and all that stuff in order to get the ball off the ground and have some sort of accuracy over more than a couple of meters, which I'm currently okay with. And because I'm not yet good enough to do the really hardcore long crossfield passes stuff with my weak foot, I'm currently going for crossbars on this distance. But it's tough. The only thing you can do though is to repeat, and then do it again. And if all else fails, buy FIFA coins to upgrade your car, because as we all know, that's the only shortcut to success. Now, the reason that my left foot is still pretty rough, even though I'm 31 and should be more or less ambidextrous by now, is that I simply started using it too late. So don't be like Jay. Learn from my mistakes and actually start incorporating this as soon as you possibly can. Take it seriously, force yourself to do this in trainings, because let's be honest, you just learn quicker when you're a kid, and you don't want to end up like me at age 25 with a left foot that doesn't work. So really guys, take it seriously, and I promise you, you're gonna be a much better player for it. In other words, it is so important to have a good weak foot as a football player, especially if you're serious about it. But guys, what is your best tip to improving your weak foot? Well, as always, you should let us and the rest of the community know in the comment section right down below. You can, of course, also go and grab yourself an awesome pair of materials in the link to unisportstore.com right over there. Don't forget to go subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then you can go and learn how to improve even more as a football player in the playlist in the bottom of your screen. And with that said, guys, I'm signing off. Cheerio.